So I just finished watching The Balance of Terror. This is an episode a lot of people have told me that I just need to see. Like, this is one of the quintessential Star Trek episodes. And I understand why. Oh my gosh, this episode was so good from start to finish. This honestly may be the best episode I've seen so far. And I know I've said that for a couple others, but honestly, I do believe this is the best one I have seen so far. The others that I've claimed were the best so far, it was up until that point. Anyway, this episode is the first time we get to meet the Romulans, who are this alien race that Earth had a war with 100 years ago, but nobody knew what the other side looked like. Really great idea. That's something that we tend to see more in like some higher science fiction sort of stuff. I'd almost expect that sort of plot from Isaac Asimov or something like that you never saw the enemy. Really great idea. And then they take you to the next level when you finally do get to see them, and they look like Vulcans. That was so cool that here we are, we finally get visual confirmation of them, and then Spock is sitting right there. That I loved. What a great twist. The rest of the episode goes on to be just as strong. You have the conflict of one of these crewmen whose family was all massacred by Romulans a long time ago, and now we know what they look like, and they look just like the Vulcans, and is there a difference? And he's eyeballing Spock the whole time, trying to figure out, is this guy the spy? Because they think there's a spy on board. And Kirk maneuvering the ship to shadow this other ship, because a Romulan, their bird of prey vessel, it can cloak, and it has like this devastating laser beam thing or whatever. And so Kirk is trying to chase them down, but he's doing it by mirroring all their images, so it just looks like a reflection out in space. Really great military tactics for a sci-fi show like that. Oh man, I mean, this episode was just chock full of stuff. And then when we get to the Romulans themselves as bad guys, you understand them. This is a well thought out villain. This is not I'm evil for evil's sake. This is not a huge revenge plot or anything like that. These guys are warriors. This is their culture, and I understand it. Do I agree with them? Probably not, but that's a whole nother discussion. This right here is a well thought out culture of a warrior hierarchy that exists. And when they do finally battle the Enterprise at the end, and the Enterprise does win, of course, but not without some casualties, which I'll get to in just a moment, Kirk has a dialogue with the Romulan captain. And the Romulan captain says, in another life, we could have been friends. And I loved that. That here is this man that, even though he's dying, he looks into the eyes of the man who has just killed him and says that line. That is so awesome. That's real power right there in your writing, in your character development. That is, that he and Kirk were both brilliant military men in that aspect. And had they both been the same race, they probably would have been really close allies. They would have been really close friends. That's really good story writing. So I want to go back to what I was saying about the casualties. The beginning of the episode starts out with a couple getting married. I guess they're engineers or something. They work in the phaser room. So Trekkies, please write to me and let me know exactly who these people were and what their positions were, because I'm sure I'm messing it up, and there's some Trekkie out there having an aneurysm. Anyway, this guy and this girl are getting married. Kirk is doing the wedding because he's the ship captain. They make a little deal or a little statement about that, which I thought was nice. That, even back in the days of the old wooden sailing ships, as he says, the captains always had the right to marry. I love that we still see some traditions from Earth being brought on, even though this is far into the future. So anyway, they're about to get married, and then there's catastrophe, and they get sent in action, and so they never do actually get married. And we get to see them a little bit in snippets here and there throughout the episode, and there's dialogue about them talking about, you know, their wedding day kind of being ruined, but it doesn't matter because they love each other and they're going to be together forever. And the guy gets killed at the end. It's good storytelling. And I like it because it makes us feel sad. And not everybody comes out on top. And it's not all happy. And it's not Kirk taking off his shirt and making out with some woman. There are some real consequences to being on the Enterprise. And this is the first time we see that. And this is the first time we see that life is not always going to be awesome. Life is not always going to be peachy. I was honestly surprised that they killed this character off. Granted, this is the first time we saw this character, as far as I know. But they did a pretty good job just establishing, yes, he is a character. Yes, he is in love with this girl. They have some backstory. So not as impactful as killing off, you know, Spock or McCoy or something like that. But on a storytelling level, yeah, really, really nice. I liked it. Not that I liked death, but in the way Joss Whedon tells great stories by killing off his favorite characters all the time, so that you know that this world is still grounded in some realism. Whether it's, you know, the Whedonverse or Star Trek here, which has fantastical elements and all this sci-fi, grounding it in reality makes us buy into it more. If every single member of the Enterprise got exactly what they wanted every single time, and everybody was good looking, a la Starship Troopers, we wouldn't buy it, we wouldn't believe it, and it wouldn't be worth watching. We need to know that, yes, these characters are fallible, and yes, these characters are mortal. So, Balance of Terror. This episode is incredible. If you have not seen it yet and you're new to Star Trek like I am, this is one you could go right ahead and watch to kind of get you into the series. I highly recommend it. Just like the Menagerie, go for this one. If you're just like, I want to watch an episode today, Balance of Terror. This is one I will probably revisit in the future just to watch again for pure pleasure, because it is that good. So anyway, that's Balance of Terror. This is Trek here. Have a wonderful day.